Welcome to the Nonprofit Exchange. This is Hugh Ballou. I'm founder and president of Center Vision Leadership Foundation. Leaders create synergy with their teams by being very clear with their vision. So be very clear, create that synergy because we don't do it alone. We're dealing with a topic today that's sometimes invisible, but it's a huge problem. So my guest today is Chris Hadnagy. I misspelled I misspoke your name. Chris is a new friend and he's got a great mission. So Chris, let's start out by telling people a little about you, your background, and what led you to doing this important work. And I'm going to give people the titles today. It's Behind the Mask of Social Engineering, a Mission for Justice. So first tell us about yourself and then about the topic.
So I'm just a normal guy. I got a wife, two kids. My business that I run, which is not the nonprofit, is called Social Engineer. We audit companies, large companies, employees for their vulnerabilities and susceptibility to cyber attacks, and then we help educate them so they know how to report and not fall for those attacks. During one job that I had for a really large organization, we found a man that was in that work trading videos of himself molesting little children with people on the dark web. And that for me, we're going back maybe 10, 11 years. For me, that was new. I thought this was a third world problem. This wasn't a problem here in America. And it was this light bulb, eye-opening moment that I'm like, this is a problem here. We did a sting operation with federal law enforcement, and that man will be in prison for 150 years. And for me, that was like I don't know, it was like a superpower moment. I felt like I didn't know my skills can do anything good. So that's kind of was the start of how I wanted to do more of that and to form the ILF.
So the ILF, talk about that.
So it's the Innocent Lives Foundation. When I wanted to start it, first thing I did was go to my lawyer because I said, I know what I'm asking to do is highly irregular. There's a lot of great organizations out there that try to build tools for law enforcement or save the kids once they're taken out of those situations. I wanted to stop the predators. I wanted to stop the people who are hurting kids and creating child abuse material. So doing that means we were going to be in the deepest, darkest, dirtiest places of the dark web and seeing, reading things that were going to be terrible. And I just needed to kind of have some basis of how we can form an organization that can get volunteers to come in and safely, both legally, physically, and mentally, safely go do this work and help law enforcement with this job.
So that's scary. The deep dark web, man, it's not, most of us don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
But give us an idea of the extent of how big this problem is.
Okay, let's look at 2022, NCMEC, which is the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. That's a global organization that houses all child abuse images, gives them hash, and then gives them out to law enforcement agencies around the globe so they can go and stop these bad guys. In 2022, they had 32 million images submitted to them. In 2023, they had 36 million. That went up 4 million images. And these are unique images of children being abused. And now this year with AI generated child abuse material, the problem is bigger than it's ever been. And pandemic kind of took it from where we were seeing, 15, 18 million pictures a year to into the 30 millions. When all the predators were home, all the kids were home. So I hate to talk like this, but the supply and demand were there, and child predation went through the roof.
This is a very informative interview, and our 25 minutes has just gone flying by. What do you want to leave people with? A call to action or thought?
Call to action. We want to continue this mission. So if you want to support us, we are a 501(c)(3), so we can use donations. If you think you have the skill set to help us with the research and you want to join and volunteer, you can also do that. And if you are a parent listening, I strongly encourage you to have a conversation with your child way before something happens to them. Make it clear to them that if something happens, they can run to your arms for help and safety, and they won't have to feel shame. They don't have to feel embarrassed that they're going to be punished. Just have that conversation now before something happens.
Chris Hadnagy, thank you so much for being my guest today on the Nonprofit Exchange. You've really opened my eyes to this, how big this issue is. Thank you.
Thank you.